between Sue and Flash. In the upper left, I can't believe he won game number 1.
SK Telecom T1 Sue.
The greatest player in StarCraft 1, now here to win everything in StarCraft 2. He is.
KT roster Flash.
You know, when you look at the way that Flash plays this, actually the way he plays TVZ just overall, he just keeps massing up units and they just keep streamlining out of his base, and whenever I see it, it always makes me think of a Tetris game, like with the blocks falling, and they start to come down faster and faster. I feel like that's what it looks like watching Flash play at TVZ. Is eventually there's just so many units coming out, you can't put all the pieces there. But I mean, in that last game, it was like all of Flash's pieces were like just the bars, so he just kept destroying lines.
Well, God, I almost had a really funny joke, but it didn't quite work. All right.
Actually, if it was just, it would be even easier if it was just boxes. But anyways, what were you saying?
No, I mean, this is... I'm like really impressed, I have to say, with Sue. Like, he kept refilling his drones. The thing is, you're behind on units when you do that.
Yeah.
So what he did was he kind of sacked the mute account. He made 5. And, you know, he really made sure he had Baneling speed quickly. He spent, at a time where it was kind of hard to, on 1-1 to get that as quickly as possible. So that when the first really important engagement happened after the initial harassment, he had speed 1-1, 5 mutas. And with that, he made, like, kind of overmade Banelings a little bit more than you would normally see at that point, because a lot of times you're going to see the gas put a little bit more heavily into mutas. And it allowed him to, like, kill enough of the army, and then enough of the counterattacks slowed him down enough. It was just everything about it was really, really cool to see. I love how he handled that, because you know, there's been times in the past in ZVT where it felt like if Terran kills that many drones, you know, you're gonna die. But he, like, you know, he had that macro hatch, he had the additional hatch, he had the larva he needed. Keeping his drone count up was like priority number 1 for Sue.
Yeah.
And keeping that economy, and, you know, just take 1 or 2 decisive battles and you know, keep his own harassment up to slow Flash down, and that's all he needed. So this guy is such a force. Like, it actually wouldn't even surprise me if he got back to the finals again.
I mean,
and then of course lost to Rain.
After a game like that, I mean, you gotta say this guy is still in tip-top shape. You know, we have Ling speed started now. The second command center is going to finish up. This will be a passive opening from both parties. This is the most common TVZ style that we see on both sides. So there's going to be a little bit of downtime here just for the first minute or 2.
Yeah, the third command center. It's kind of a macro play here from Flash. So everything looking fine. I do like the speed of Sue here.
Yeah, I think it's really safe. Do you think we're going to see, I guess actually I shouldn't even ask if we're going to have any kind of aggression early on, since the third command center is being made now.
I mean, other than harassment, not particularly.
Very, like, conservative harass, just
yeah,
try to clean up some creep tumors, take out some Lings.
Yeah, maybe a run by, but I think it's a little bit less.
I don't even think we'll see a run by here. Yeah, I don't think
players
think that
would. I would say, especially with Flash, like taking that risk. Well, it can be a risk, because if you just get surrounded as you go up in the creep.
Taking a risk like that can win you games, but it's not the most efficient way.
Yeah, does Flash need to do that?
Collect all the wins possible.
To steal all the ladder points, as some might say.
As some say.
But yeah, he's also a player that really likes Hellbats. You know, he's someone that doesn't use Widow Mines as much. He'd rather macro out those Hellbats, spread everything out, and make it difficult to engage. You
brought up that ladder points joke. It's so funny because, I mean, that's really how my brain works when I'm like when I play StarCraft. But now I've been playing Hearthstone. Like this morning I was playing Hearthstone, and now it's all about me taking their stars. I'm imagining this nerd that I just crush him with some sick deck I used, and he's lost so many stars now. He goes up and lays down in the field outside and looks in the sky, and there's nothing in space because I have so many stars, Artosis.
Then he realizes he lives in Seoul and it's all light pollution.
I control the universe. I'm like Thanatos or the guys in Defender of this Galaxy.
I can see you playing on a PC in Thanatos'
Is it Thanatos or Thanos?
I thought it was Thanos. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a good nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a bad nerd.
There's only so much comic book knowledge my brain could store. So we have the Hellions backing up now, and we have more barracks just coming down now for Flash.
Yeah, you got that nice quick 1-1 as well.
This is all building up, guys. Both these guys really saying, I know I could win in late game. So nobody's engaging anybody early on at all here. You could see the upgrade race has already started. There's a slightest lead here for Flash.
Yeah, and that is.
Although I don't know if that's going to be too impactful here. We'll have to see.
Well, you'd have to hit it at a very sharp time. But, you know, it's always better to be ahead on that. Now, I've seen some really great games on Merry-Go-Round of TVCs. And in fact, I believe the one that's coming to my mind right now is SKT1's Dark. It was Sue's teammate against Flash. I believe that's what I saw, where Flash had constant pressure on the fourth and eventually broke it, but like right before he broke it, a new fourth had finished up for Dark, so he just transferred the drones, and like it was one of the best ZVTs that I have ever seen. I thought it was just such fantastic play out of Dark. Can't remember if this was this past season of Code A or maybe the season before, something like that. But anyways, it was just a fantastic play there, and I'm just interested to see like how tooth and nail is it with the fourth base for Sue. Like, where is he going to take that fourth? Is he just going to go to this high ground right here? I think so. Right? Or, I mean, he could take the other location that could be a third base, but that's a little bit closer to Flash.
Let's see how he does it, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, maps like this, the respawn maps are always kind of, kind of weird for stuff like this.
He chose where to take it. And by the way, he once again, I do believe he grabbed the macro hatch before the fourth base once again. So looks like that is just what Sue feels very comfortable with here. And that's going to allow him, of course, to keep that drone count up high, make plenty of Lings and Banes. And, you know, he's definitely going to push this creep forward. Because one thing I'd be afraid of here is Terran pushing down that hill towards my fourth. Could be very hard to hold.
Well, we have everything gathering up now. 2-2 now starting.
Yeah,
Flash not going to push yet. So far, supply is very even now. Normally, we see Zerg get about 30 and 40 supply ahead at this point in time in the game. God, he's good with the creep spread. But when you got Flash, it's not uncommon for him to just be even. I mean, this guy is so... This is how he was the best at Brood War, or one of the many reasons why he was the best, is that he just never, ever, ever missed a depot. Everything was making. It was like he had cheat codes in.
Well, looks like these Lings and Banes going to clean up this drop for now.
He actually got a lot of Lings there.
Yeah.
That was actually really cost-effective. We have 8 Mutas and 26 Lings on the way here. This is something Flash does pretty well in most of his games. He just comes out here, shaves off creep, and he does not overextend.
He goes just deep enough because he knows where most of the army is in the main base there to clean up that double drop. He goes just deep enough that he can get off the creep before those units can get back for a real attack.
For instance, because of that drop, like you were saying, he can actually back up and get it out in time, which is really nicely done.
And this is
Flash is I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is how Flash plays. Look how he's rallying right in front of the creep. He's holding this watchtower. He's going to have stuff pre-spread when he thinks that there could be an incoming attack. But he's standing in such a location where it's not that far to go to a fourth and hit it, right? And just rallying right in. This is very scary. He's waiting for the creep to go back. It's very patient play. Never really wanting to go on that creep, which is so often the demise of Terran players.
Now look at this. He just sends some Marines out here, snipes that. Supercomputer. Flash's eye just shoots down to the minimap for a second. He's like, oh my god, there's one creep over there. Hold on. Like, Stims comes up. So he's gathered up a huge amount right now. They're still locked right now in supply, and they're about to max out.
That's right. Of course, going to be a bit more army for Terran as they stop on SCVs a little bit before Zerg stops on theirs. Look at that, 2-2 lined up with Blue Flame as well. Thor popping out and some Hellions, or Hellbats still, really.
And it looks like now he wants to push up to the top. This is not a bad idea, because if he wins the engagement on the plateau, it's really easy to just keep rally pushing there.
Yeah, rally pushing there is really, really strong. So, we actually have him walking up and spreading already, so a bunch of Banelings do go down here. A few more Mutas on the way. But does he actually have a big enough ground army to take this all out? We'll see in a moment. Kind of getting ready. A good spread here. Ooh. 25
we have
Banes,
so
a lot
much
of Lings.
coming up here. And he's going to come dive in now. The Lings are coming up. The Banelings are actually in the back there. He didn't quite have all of his stuff together there.
Well, the Blue Flame just devastating those Zergling counts, and the 4th base is looking like it's going to fall, Tasteless. This is really, really rough. He doesn't have anything left over from this. Going to try to crush this army as best he can. He does kill off the Thor and most of the army so far.
Everything coming up now. And Flash did kill the hatch there, but this engagement is as far as units go, they're both trading. Actually, still on even supplies for these guys, but yeah, Zerg losing them. Well, yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed the hatch.
That's kind of tough. Like, Sue, I actually thought he would take the base a little further south on the high ground, but he decided to take this one, and he's kind of paid for it. He wasn't able to hold on to the very first push towards the 4th, and this has put Flash in a great spot. In fact, he's retaking that same 4th, but okay, he's taking the high ground base now as well. But for the time being, we have to give the lead to Flash. He's in a great spot, having killed that, even taking his own 4th base now.
Okay, he's got his army gathering up here again on the plateau. No, he's going to back up, actually. Is he just going to regroup here and wait to max out? It can be tough when you have those big engagements to know exactly where your opponent's supply is at. But these guys are just neck and neck right now. Flash is going to have to do a lot of damage, though, with this next big push, I think.
Look at that wall of depots. He just has so many depots over here. Well, going to lose a couple of them at least to the Milos Craftsman.
Not too impactful.
Not really.
Especially with them already at 193. So here it looks like Sue wants to just do counterattacks to that the 3rd base. The one below the main.
I feel like Flash is too on top of things right now for Sue to do that. If he were to run a huge amount of Banes like in Lings into that depot area, I feel like the counterattack of Flash is almost a death blow.
I think that might be why Flash picked this map, is that it's actually so easy for him to push in this area. But the longer this game goes on, the more the bottom of the map Zerg gets to control. So keep that in mind as well.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God.
That is a lot of Banelings right there, Tasteless. Running past right now, doesn't want them hitting Marauders or Thors. Does take down everything on the low ground, and now moving up to that high ground. The Banelings doing some work. The Thors, though, oh my God.
There's just too many Lings.
There's so many Lings
maybe, hatching out here now.
Those mutas took a lot of damage,
there's more Marines than I actually realized are in the medevacs there, now that they highlighted the HP. But it still does not matter. Sue is just beating Flash back.
He is for now, but I'm a little bit nervous because he lost most of his mutas. He's got just 5 left. He used up all his Banelings. That's something that happens with Banelings. When they explode, they're gone forever. And Flash has his 4th base mining.
Life lessons from Artosis.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you make a really heavy Baneling army, you can have one great engagement like that. But look at the army now of Sue. The army is actually pretty weak. Look at this. That is not so scary.
Although, keep in mind, he does have these bases down here at the bottom. He's going to have free reign of the bottom here, too, if Flash keeps pushing like this. Although I do agree with you, Artosis, Flash does have more muscle on the map right now. So I think that's one of the reasons why Sue would try to go for a counterattack here. He's like, look, just leave my bases alone. I'm going to be attacking you if you try anything. And this is a lot of SCVs that are going to be killed off here.
Yeah, this is a nice little counterattack.
And I don't know where these SCVs are going to go to now that they're going down to the bottom right.
And you know what? He could do like a pretty big supply block. It looks like that's not going to be the case. Didn't really kill enough depots there.
Oh, man.
And going to lose some SCVs for sure.
Yeah, actually, I got to say, I'm really surprised he actually saved any of those. I'm really surprised he saved any of those. I actually don't know if Sue should be engaging here.
Well, it looks like he wants to see what he can do with his Banelings and whatnot, and he's actually doing a great job. Keeping the mutas alive is the most important part at this point, I would say.
Yeah, he actually forced him to pick up. I got to say, Sue is just so impressive here.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an overcommitment, though. Taking a bit more damage on those mutas, losing the rest of his ground forces.
So Sue now remaking. He's got 4 more mutas, 14 Lings, and 25 Banelings on the way. Now,
we actually have for Flash, by the way, the 3/3 upgrades and +2 on his vehicle weapons. So the Thors, Hellbats, and Marines and Marauders are just doing insane amount of damage to these Zerg units, which is making him even more Baneling dependent, I would say.
Okay, Flash now pushing through the center of the map. Can he do enough damage? Zerg is already, it's already that point in the game here where Zerg is going to start taking more of the bottom part of the map.
Well, he's trying to go ahead and attack into this base. Oh, the Banelings actually having a pretty good engagement by themselves here. You know, the Thors are left over, and a few other units as well will be picked up for the time being. Doing great deal of damage to those mutas as well.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job microing these Thors, but it is just not enough right now. Su is slowly but surely just beating Flash back. And by the way, there are not other expansions that are particularly accessible for Terran here.
Yeah, that's true.
He could try that top center, just a little bit south of the one that's at the very top. He could try that, but that is definitely at a point that Zerg can attack very easily.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the bottom center of the map, that whole area, bottom half of the map really, is very easy for Zerg to expand to.
Hey, Tasteless.
Hey,
Su's pretty good.
Yeah.
Loses his fourth base
is
like just immediately. Like it just drops down like those goats that just have panic attacks all the time. You ever see that video?
Oh yeah, the guys that scare the goats.
Yeah, and they just fall down. That's what his fourth base did this game, but like he's fighting back really well so far. Here we go, another engagement. The Banelings coming in from all sides.
What's crazy is that Su always has an answer.
He always has enough Banelings, and look at this. He keeps remaking those mutas. The Thor's not even helping enough against them. He's lost a ton of mutas this game. You know, the one thing that Flash has really done a great job of is keeping him off that Hive tech and those Hive upgrades.
You know what's so funny about this is, you know, if you see at games like this, sometimes people would say, what I do wrong, I'd say, oh, you have too many workers or something, and your army's just simply not as big as your opponent. That's not actually the case here. Su is beating back Flash every single time with his army. I mean, and Flash is macroing perfectly. He's been balancing his economy perfectly. And it's like watching Flash run into a brick wall here. I mean,
you know,
Su is just not going to lose this game.
It's more like watching him run into a trampoline, because like he gets a certain distance in, then he flies all the way back to his base, and then he does it again. So yeah, it's much more like that, because a brick wall, like he just runs in and falls down.
Shakespeare,
right
watch out, man. Artosis is dropping rhymes right now.
Well, another surrounding here, a ton of Zerglings moving in at the moment. More Banelings coming up.
And again, as soon as at the point in time now, he could basically go to the offensive. He's no longer simply making sure Terran can't kill his expansion. Su's actually coming in and trying to just crush little parts of Flash's army.
Yeah, Su is just, I can't even believe how good this guy can play. It's craziness. It's just crazy how good he is.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
Su is like imbalanced or something. I thought the game was really well balanced now, and now I'm watching this, and I'm like, huh.
Su is, I mean, again, considering how brilliantly Flash is playing, I can't believe Su is surviving everything and winning these games. I mean, it's not over yet, guys, but right now, you can't deny that Su looks incredible.
Yeah, I thought that Flash was going to be able to take both games, to be honest, but like the play of Su is pretty crazy. Here we go, another big attack coming in from Su. Banelings spreading very well, but we do have Flash coming up from the bottom here, and it looks like Flash finally might take a battle.
Well, that was a really bad engagement there by Su.
Yeah, but
that is exactly what Flash needs to tip this scale in his
I think you're right. I think you're right. He's on these 5 bases now. His economy's looking good. He's got a bigger army now. He won that one engagement, and things are turning around once again. Let's not forget, Su is well down in upgrades. So now that Flash actually has a really strong army and economy to work with, he's finally held Su off. This next attack could be deadly.
Well, he's continuing to move out now, and this is another great win here for Flash. He's going to take out all these Banelings.
That's really painful, yeah.
And Flash is starting to get across here. We have more Banelings being remade now by Su. A lot more being remade. But is Flash going to be able to take out this base? Pushing from this position is pretty strong for Terran, but it takes a long time to kill the hatch.
I think Su's going to be able to clean this up when his Lings all finish.
I think you might be right.
We have a lot of medevacs here, so some tricky micro can occur, but I think he should have enough. Now, does have a little Ling counterattack going towards the 5th base of Flash. See what he can get done over there. Yeah, does force it up for now, so that's actually very nice. That didn't cost him very much to do that.
He's just going to leave?
Yeah, I think he needs every unit on hand for this next one, because he's actually down like 30 army supply right now. He cannot spare a unit across the map. In fact, he forces some of the rallies of Flash to go elsewhere so that he can maybe kill this off. All right, let's see. He's going to hit this with
He's
everything he's
coming
got.
down now. The hatch is getting low.
Oh, the Baneling's rolling in. A lot of them actually not getting too far.
Yeah, hitting the Thor there. The Thors. And I think Flash is actually going to take this base. GG!
Really well done. You know, one misengagement there from Sue, and eventually just runs out of everything. Flash pushes him back.
Really nicely done by Flash. I mean, it was a back and forth game. For a while there, I thought Sue was going to win no matter what. But yeah, it was that one bad engagement. We are going to have
Flash thinks he won, guys. He's out of his mood. No, he's going to the bathroom.
So we got a little bit of downtime here. Well, what a treat, man. I mean, we're going to go to game number 3 with these two.
Oh, I'm so glad we get to see game number 3. Seriously. Like, Sue just played so well there. Sue well.
Sue is so godlike. I can't believe how long Sue is hanging on.
Well, he
throughout
fought
that
so
whole
well.
game.
When your fourth falls like that, like to the first big push of Flash, you got to expect you're going to lose the game. But he took the fourth
Against
again
Flash
and a
especially.
fifth, and then he took a sixth, and he started killing stuff. And it was
Also,
pretty crazy play.
Here's something to talk about.
Yeah,
What map is Sue going to pick?
it's a good question.
Flash won game number 2.
Overgrowth, maybe.
Overgrowth is not an uncommon pick for Zergs.
But the thing is, if whatever Sue picks for a map, does Flash just double proxy barracks him? And does Sue
he
find
could.
it?
He certainly could.
Yeah, Flash is the type of player that will mix that in so often.
I got to say, after seeing how Flash is looking in TVZ right now, I don't know about these other Zergs. I definitely don't think DRG is going to be able to cut it.
Well, I think Sue is coming out of this group no matter what. And it seems like Flash is insanely good. Like that game, it really started to get Sue favor there for a bit, despite the great upgrades, despite the great economy of Flash. But, you know, one poor engagement off creep, man, that's all it takes, really.
Well, that one engagement where Sue totally messed up. I mean, that was a really bad engagement. That was what Flash used to then come across the map. And even then, Sue's defense was still very good. We even saw he did that counterattack over at the Terran's bottom right base. And he said, okay, I actually have to have every single unit. I'm not even going to try to kill these turrets at this empty expansion.
Yeah.
And it looks like Flash is now ready to start this game. So we're going to go right into it. Let's go ahead and see what map he picks for our final map here in the third best of 3 today, the winner's match, Deadwing.
Okay, I'm not super surprised. This was going to be my second guess.
That's Sue's map pick. I think I said Flash's map pick.
Yeah,
that's Sue's pick.
I'm not super surprised because it's a giant map. He saw the type of rush that Flash was doing before. He's going to probably scout specifically for that and then just try to play like a big macro game, I think, especially if they're cross spots. Like against Sue, who can do that on Merry-Go-Round in those kind of tighter spots after losing his fourth. Imagine on this map where you could potentially have to walk much, much further.
Well, maybe he will do some kind of crazy cheese.
Flash could do the same type of bunker rush. It's a very strong build.
Yeah. And we already saw that even if it doesn't win immediately, he still knows how to work with it afterwards.
Certainly.
He can definitely go to Plan B from the
Plan B is bunker
rush. Then it's the Plan C there.
Plan C?
Big command center.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
What's Plan B?
You die. If those don't work, then you die.
All right.
Looks like we're getting something. There might be some problem here with Deadwing's or Sue's computer.
Deadwing's computer.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
The map Deadwing is going to play Flash here.
The map has a mind of its own.
Whenever the map plays somebody, they always get bad positions. I swear, these maps, they're rigged.
Okay, well, let's see if Flash can do it. I think no matter what, though, these two have to get out of this group, right? Okay, there was a login issue here. I think Sue got bumped out. We're going to get it back in, and then we'll get this going.
Yep. Should be fine.
Yep.
We'll get that going.
Got the Golem Wizard in there.
Yeah, Flash very thirsty right now, by the way. He's just keeping hydrated. Very important to
Actually, whenever I'm playing any game, I drink a lot of water. Do you?
I'm basically like a camel. I keep the water in a hump on my back, and then...
Well, I've seen that hump on your back, man. You play a lot of computer games. No, I've seen this with some players, though. You have some players that chew a lot of gum. in this case, as you Flash, kind of an oral fixation. He's drinking the juice box, taking drinks out of I would assume that's a water bottle next to him.
What do you think's in that juice? Is that chocolate milk or is that juice?
That's a good question. What do you think?
I think it's chocolate milk.
I think it's juice.
I think he's drinking chocolate milk.
Why would
I'm going to go take
that
chocolate milk later and save the straw so I flash his DNA to add to my Nada's DNA.
Yeah, so we can do that Jurassic Park stuff where we bring Flash back to the dead, back from the dead. This is the DNA of Nada. He will play against the aliens 300 years from now.
Well, who do you think actually takes this?
I really don't know. I think we got to see if Flash is going to cheese or not.
I'm going to say vertical spots, Flash takes it, cross spots, Suit